Hey YouTube, what's going on, and welcome back to Chironus Things. Today we're going to be reviewing a mini thrower from a flashlight that I hadn't heard of until about a month ago. This is the UrFlamp V63s. Let's get into it. Let's get started with the dimensions on this flashlight. I'll go ahead and put those up on the side of the screen. And while we're taking a look at that, let's look at some size comparisons. First up, we have a similar flashlight here in the Wurkkos TS11. So both of these are going to be running 18350 batteries, and both of these are mini throwers. So there we are. You'll see that the TS11 from Wurkkos is a bit longer here. Bit bigger head for sure. On the tube, it's pretty close there. I think this UrFlamp is a little bit bigger. And then on the head, the diameter on the head, it's almost exact. I mean, I'd call that pretty much even right there. And then one more here. This is another 18350 light, but this is a headlamp. Just to give you an idea, this is the Armitech Wizard C1 Pro. And you'll see there that the Armitech's a little bit shorter, quite a bit smaller in diameter on the body there, and then significantly smaller on the head. So that's what the size is looking like on this V63s. As for battery and charging on this flashlight, we do have a USB-C flap here on the back. If you peel that up, you'll see your USB-C recharging port. And then here on the front, we do have a battery indicator when you click the button on. Additionally, you can access this battery only through the top, and I'll show you why here in just a couple minutes. But for now, let's go ahead and remove this head. And as we can see that it ships with an 1100 milliamp 18350 and 3.6 volts. And that's going to be a button top. This does not accept flat tops. For the overall design and features on this flashlight, let's start off with the tail. So like I said earlier, you can only remove the battery from the head. The reason is because when you twist the bottom here, it actually extends. So you don't need a separate tube whatsoever. You can just twist it and throw an 18650 battery in here if you're looking for better battery life and a little bit better performance. That is a pretty awesome feature right there. Another feature off the tail here is that we do have this little female connection port here, and you'll see that it's threaded, so you can actually thread this flashlight onto a tripod. Additionally, we do have lanyard holes here. That's how I prefer to carry most of my flashlights, so glad that they included that. And another nice thing is, because of the way the design is, it's not going to get in the way whatsoever of tail standing by having a lanyard in there. Another thing too is you can get a separate adapter, I believe from their website at UrFlamp, where you can actually thread on a magnet if you prefer to have a magnet as well. Now on the tube, we do have kind of a basic design here. We've been seeing this on a lot of the newer flashlights. Just kind of like this grippy design here that goes horizontally. It's nice, feels good. And then as we move up the flashlight here onto the head, you'll see that we do have 3 cutout fins on each side for just a little bit of heat dissipation there. And then on the front, we do have this rubber button. There's nothing overly special about the button, but it is nice. It's pretty good for a rubber button, and like I said, it does have that battery indicator there when you turn it on. Now as we get up to the head of the flashlight here, you'll see that we do have a little bit of design, some cutouts on the bezel. I do like that. And then inside the head here, we've got a TIR lens with an SFT 40 emitter. Now let's take a look at the performance numbers on the side of the screen. And next up, let's take a look at the user interface. So this is going to be a click on, click off flashlight. You can hold from off to access moonlight mode. Otherwise, when the flashlight's on, you can hold to cycle through low, medium, and high. It's also got memory mode, so if I turn it off in high, turn it back on, it's back in high. If I turn it off in low, turn it back on, it turns on low. Additionally, I can double click for strobe, or for turbo, and I can triple click for strobe. For lockout mode, you just need to hold the button. For about 3 to 5 seconds, you'll get those flashes, and now if you try to turn it on, you'll just get that blanky orange light on the front. Click it 3 times to get out of lockout mode. And now let's go ahead and take this outside and see what it can do with some beam shots. Now that we're back inside, you might be thinking, hey, this looks pretty similar to some other flashlights that you've reviewed on the channel before. And yes, I do agree it is very similar. It's very similar to that Sparris flashlight I reviewed recently. It's still pretty similar to the Wurkkos TS11, which I showed in the size comparison. Similar to the Through Night Catapult Mini. This has a lot of similarities to other flashlights, and it seems like everybody's kind of borrowing some ideas from each other in this little mini thrower thing that's going on here. So it doesn't seem like anybody's specifically copying another, but just that they are definitely all borrowing some ideas from each other. They all seem pretty similar. So with that said, soon I'll get a review going that shows all 4 of my mini throwers and compare them one against another, so you can see, you know, just how similar are these, were they different. But I will point out a couple things in that this is the only one that I know of that's got this little threaded piece on the bottom here where you can add a magnet on or put it on a tripod. Additionally, where you can extend it in that 18650 tube. I would say the head is definitely very similar in that it's using the SFT 40 emitter, which a couple of them are, and then this charging port back here looks very similar to the Sparris one. But this does have some unique features to it, and that's pretty exciting. I really like the way that they designed this tail and adding that extension tube. So I think that this is still unique enough that if you're interested in a mini thrower, if you like those features, I would definitely recommend this one. As far as improvements, I'd say that I mostly like everything about it, but I would have liked to have seen them kind of get a little bit more adventurous in the emitter, since a lot of these mini throwers are using SFT 40s. It would have been cool if they used something a little bit different just to change it up. But otherwise, though, I'd say that this absolutely holds its ground with the other mini throwers. So again, here in the next month or two, I'll have that video out. Keep an eye out for it if you want to see how this stacks up, how they're similar, how they're different, all that kind of stuff. And as for price, this looks like it's currently on sale for $29.99, so $30 on Amazon. I'll add a link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week.